Hey folks, I'm Zach, the co-owner of Tail Heavy Productions. I got bit by the aviation bug thanks to RC flying. As someone who also flies metal tubes with wings attached to them for a living, and occasionally flies tiny boys with fans on their noses for fun, I can tell you that RC flying will forever be where I have the most fun in aviation. Here's why. The challenge. Ever tried snap rolling a full-scale 737? I sure hope not. In RC though, you can try snap rolling anything, and even try flying from bizarre places without ever putting your life at risk. This is the beauty of RC flying. Being able to fly outside the box. This is what our channel is built around, taking RC airplanes and flying them in places and ways that challenge us to push ourselves to learn the true limits of what we're flying. We've tried some stuff that definitely raises our heart rates, but that's what we love so much about it. The adrenaline, the challenge, the guaranteed side effect of having some spectacular crashes. Always remember, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Push yourself. Unfortunately, in full scale, you can't fly outside the box in the same way, purely due to red tape from regulations. Unless you want to pull a Trevor Jacob. We definitely don't endorse that. If you know you want to get into full scale eventually, regardless of the red tape, but are pursuing RC first, consider this. As an RC pilot, you aren't required to fully comprehend how an airplane flies to the same level a full-scale pilot would. You can run to the hobby shop, buy a park flyer, run to the local park, and get airborne. This is a great freedom to have, but it also comes with some required responsibility. Do your best to be conscious of your skill level. Don't be the famous all money and no skill Terry. Don't go buying an airplane that's well above your skill level and try flying it just because you can afford it. Don't put yourself and others at risk. Respect the hobby, and don't be the one guy that ruins it for everyone else. Learn to fly as thoroughly as you can first by means of your local RC field instructors, simulators, and online resources. As a quick footnote to this, if you ever do intend to go from RC into full-scale flying, pushing yourself to fly RC outside the box will make learning to fly full-scale that much easier. You'll truly know how an airplane behaves at the edge of its envelope. Cost. It goes without saying that full-scale flying can be much more expensive than RC flying. The cost to rent a full-scale plane for a couple hours generally equates to the cost of a new RC model. It's a bummer that the cost can make full-scale flying prohibitive. We wish it would be possible for everyone in aviation to experience things like busting through a cloud layer, St. Elmo's fire, formation flying from the pilot's seat, and that awesome feeling of being one with a machine, low and slow using stick and rudder. In an effort to be glass half full though, RC pilots can try and come close to this for less money by means of a fancy thing called first-person view flying, also known as FPV. FPV is an awesome tool to have as RC pilots. Give it a try, and you'll find yourself in the pilot's seat much quicker and at a more affordable rate. Just be sure to throw a fan in front of yourself for added realism. Community. Both RC and full scale have communities that are supportive and helpful. One thing that's hard to deny though, is that you'll never see a barbed wired fence around an RC airfield. Full scale does have more red tape in both a literal and figurative sense with their community at first, which does scare some people away. Thankfully for the RC community, less red tape means folks will be less intimidated to approach our flying sites and to join our community. Even those that live in rural areas who don't have access to established RC flying clubs with training programs or instructors can still pursue RC nowadays. This is thanks to things like simulators and new technologies like panic switches and bank-limiting flight controllers. Full scale does have a few community perks that RC folks miss out on though. One is the $100 hamburger. No, not a burger from Chef Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. A burger whose value comes from the monetary amount spent to travel by a small plane to eat it at a community fly-in at a full-scale airport. RC fields have fun flying events with burgers too, albeit less expensive patties. We have RC fun flies, competitions, and even large camp and fly events like Joe Null, think Oshkosh of RC, and Flight Fest, think crazy fun, full-on beehive RC combat with scratch builds. Both the full-scale and RC communities do have awesome programs that introduce people to aviation as well. Regulations. For full-scale pilots, they are present in many ways. For RC pilots, they are way less present. Think of it this way. All money and no skill Terry couldn't go buy a real Cessna, hop into it without training, and fly away. Unless he was the barefoot bandit. Terry can, however, do this with an RC plane. The worst case scenario for him doing this with an RC airplane is a crash that leaves a pile of foam scraps. With full scale, well, you get the idea. Another FAA regulation that doesn't prevent us from flying our toys is weather. In full scale, you can't go fly in the fog or take off into clouds that are sitting below 1,000 feet above the ground without an instrument rating. These ratings take a minimum of 40 hours of training to complete, which equates to over $8,000 on average out of pocket. In RC flying, we can easily fly below the clouds and even in fog down low with slower, small planes. RC pilots also don't have to talk to any air traffic controllers either. We do come close by announcing our intentions when we go to take off, do passes, acro, and land, but that's arguably much easier than announcing on a common traffic advisory frequency with a full-scale plane. Ultimately, RC is a much more attainable form of aviation to start with, and for that reason, it should be forever protected and elevated. We can thank community-based organizations such as the Academy of Model Aeronautics and Flight Test, among others, for doing what they can to keep our hobby alive. I, for one, got into the world of aviation because of RC. It opened the door and ignited a spark for me to want to pursue aviation as a career. We want to make sure that this window of opportunity into aviation is always accessible to upcoming generations that want to get involved, even if that means just sticking to RC flying. Or just doing full skid. Or do it like Neb and I here at Tail Heavy. Do both. RC will forever be our favorite though. Be sure to check out the description below for more details on how to get established in our amazing hobby and boxes to check to keep the regulation gods happy. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up or even hitting that subscribe button. Happy landings, bounce one on for us, and we'll see you next time with a new upload.